So here we go, fresh from this week's Hunt's Post. Fighting crime and battling the budgets. This is Her Majesty's Inspectorate of Constabulary. I'm just going to move you a bit closer, don't panic. Right, so Cambridge Police has had an excellent report from HMIC, of course. Among other things, it says, if you've been a victim of crime, then Cambridge Police provide an excellent service to victims. The report notes adding, what is particularly clear is that victims' needs are paramount. Yes, well, it doesn't really say what happens if you've been threatened by the Police Crime Commission or Cambridge Police themselves, though, does it? Really? Malicious prosecutions and all the rest that they like to carry out, and inventing harassment charges to boost their arrest rate, and so on and so forth. This just shows how pointless these government agencies are. It really does, doesn't it? Good, so there's a very nice chart here which the Hunt's Post have done. Not quite sure what any of that means, really. Oh yes, Chief Constable Simon Parr is also praised for his clear leadership. Well, they clearly lost my statement against the council. That's clear leadership, isn't it? Make sure that statements get lost, because we don't want our mates at the council being arrested for 30 years of theft of public funds, do we? Quite incredible. So I'm just going to buzz through this quickly. The Constabulary also impressed Her Majesty's Inspectorate in plenty of other key areas, such as focusing on victims of crime, dealing with antisocial behaviour, preventing reoffending, and coping with government budget cuts. Don't know what government budget cuts have got to do with crime, but apparently they get a star for that now. The inspection known as PEEL, Peel Assessment, examined 3 core areas: effectiveness, police integrity. Police integrity. Oh dear. Fail. Police integrity and corruption. Yes, well, among the reasons I've had the council were not investigated was they had committed no crime. They didn't have enough resources, which means a crime had been committed. Detective Inspector Steve Bretherton, I believe, said they couldn't investigate because it was more than 12 months old, so that means there's a crime. And then some other people said there wasn't a crime either. And then some other people said they wanted new evidence. So other than the 30-year gap in the accounts, which is the missing money, and the fact that the council haven't actually admitted that they don't have the proof that they can charge for these trading licences, I'm not quite sure what new evidence they wanted. Yes, but there were, yes, numerous. So there's your integrity and corruption. Police integrity. There's 2 words that don't belong in the same sentence. I've lost my place now. And efficiency. I'll even assuming that Ian Sims had made a complaint against me, which I very much doubt. I think they were making the whole thing up, to be honest. But it took them, 2.5, 3 months to say that he dropped a complaint. Even though the CPS had already dropped it. And even though the police had decided not to carry on with it. Or, I can't remember. All 3 of them made the decision at the same time, apparently, for completely different reasons. So, not very efficient there, though. The results in each area were given the thumbs up for the force, good ratings, the second best possible outcome after outstanding. Oh, I see, good ratings is the second best possible outcome after outstanding. I swear Snoopy writes for this paper. I mean, the wording is just... but there were a few weaknesses. highlighted by the inspectors in the effectiveness arena. Yes, that definitely says arena, it's not my context. Dealing with crime victims and preventing offending. It was generally positive. Well, it's not like the paper just suck up to the police at all, is it? Well, there was a 1% increase in recorded crime between June 2013 and 2014. The overall trend was downward, a 22% reduction in 4 years. Yes, well, that's because they keep on classing things as not criminal. Of course, there's been a reduction in crimes. They've changed everything to a civil offence. Well, except harassment. You get locked up for 30 years for harassment. Cambridgeshire remains below the national average for the number of crimes committed per 1,000 population. Well, there were 7.6 burglars per 1,000 homes. Oh no, this is very boring, really. It's all bloody statistics. If you've been a victim of crime, then Cambridgeshire Police provides an excellent service to victims. Well, that was where we came in, I think, really. Yes. Well, I'm a victim. What are you doing about it? Oh, nothing, that's right, because I've upset the council. The inspector also concluded that officers were skilled at tackling criminality at all levels. Yeah, it's still 30 years worth of public money missing. Which occurs on a day-to-day basis to serious offending that is less prevalent, but potentially. Well, to be honest, do you know what I mean? I'm quite glad that the police are skilled at tackling criminality on all levels, because that's a bit like me, having spent the last however long driving containers, ISO containers or trucks. That's a bit like me hooking up to a curtain side of trailer and not knowing how to operate it, really, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? If they're not skilled at tackling criminality at all levels, I don't know what they're doing in the police, to be honest. I mean, okay, some of the new recruits or whatever might take a couple of years to learn a few tricks, but really, that's kind of their job, isn't it? But here we have, this is the legacy of Tony Blair. Here we have inspectors, you know, in this case from HMIC, basically, as they used to say quite a lot about the British, stating the bleeding obvious. There's nothing to be praised about in being skilled at tackling criminality at all levels, because that's where they go to work. Do you know what I mean? But they fill pages of report with this stuff. However, the report adds that there was some type of inconsistency with investigation plans, and the greatest weakness occur with crimes being investigated by safer neighbourhood officers. What? The greatest weaknesses occur with... Well, are they not police officers? Safer... Is this PCSOs or something? What the hell's a safer neighbourhood on? I give up. I really do. It's like saying a patrol car driver can't investigate a crime with a motorcycle, because it's not a car. I hope I'm giving you nightmares of this, because I'm bloody having them, I tell you. What are we on for time? 9 minutes, right. One area concerning the inspection was approach to domestic abuse. However, HMIC said things had improved in domestic abuse. In other areas, the report found there was a strong track record of achieving savings. They're obsessed with savings. The what? Oh. Well, that's about it, really. Police Crime Commissioner Graham Bright, this is a bloke who threatens people, welcomed the report. I am particularly pleased that HMIC has recognised the work that all those in the constabulary do in support of both victims and crime and the vulnerable, whilst at the same time maintaining a focus on those individuals who cause most harm to society. That's probably you, I think, mate, isn't it? You certainly wanted to cause harm to me. Oh my god. Right, so there we have, you know, that someone will probably get a promotion for this. A report on how to do their job. A report on the reason they go to work, really. So there we go. More utter bullshit from the Bolton paid for media. This is Hard Harry signing off.